Hashem, Beis Hashem. Kol Yemei Chayai Lachazoi Benayam Hashem Lachazoi Benayam Hashem Vulavakei Behei Cholai Achar Shuabati Meyes Hashem Achar Shuabati Meyes Hashem Achar Shuabati Meyes Hashem Beis Hashem Kol Yemei Chayai Kol Yemei Chayai Lachazoi Benayam Hashem Lachazoi Benayam Hashem Odavakei Behei Cholai Zullen we live gaan everybody? Zullen we de in afgerond?
Ga het nou doen.
Wat is er dan?
Luwen man. Kazenkracht. Lief is mijn brother.
De zwarte plaat. Oké. Die cent u? Dus ja. Gaan ze zeker.
Je wil. Je moet iemand met de vriend van. Zwei pages, so. Two pages. And zwei. Yam bam 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 ya. Okay. So, the word is so. So now it says the farm training the new recruits. See? So it's like, you gotta start chilling. And the other side is like, listen, there's all types of so for example, Nachman in the Rebbe, I saw that there's a question. Then eventually, what's going to happen is that we're all going to be one, right? I don't want to say we're going to be Shia against Kimon. What's happening? It's happening. We're becoming one. So, fragt der Rebbe, als jeder gaat zijn eins, maar equal. So there's the triangle of the Arbeit and there's the triangle of the Arbeit. How does this work? So he says, he says that jeder andere hat sich treffen des Platz. Das nennen wir gedacht? Wie ist die gedacht? Oh, okay. So jeder andere wissen seinen Platz. Und er sagt, das ist ein tiefer Indien zu verstehen. Drückt sich aus in der Weg. So what it means is that so if you a wand from brick, you have a brick wall. I think I'll spoke about it. So jeder brick hat seinen Platz. Ein brick ist auf dem 10. Stock und ein brick ist auf die ein brick auf dem 10. Stock und ein brick ist auf die erste Stock. So the brick from the erste Stock and the 10. Stock, they're not competing with each other. Jeder hat seinen Platz. So what happens is that so if you are static, so a ball, so draait zich. The ball draait zich, and as you touch it, as you make contact, it gets static. The mushla laat, bij de oigendakte. So the static, the touches, so it shoot net. So really, we are in zijn gemacht te zitten to be present with ourselves, right? What happens, the silent meditation? Wie lang können wir sitzen still, ungunisch, right? Not paning. There's this, it's called Vipassana, that a certain, like, for Finnaf takes the 10 take, man sitzt in Merat Gunisch. Kannst Gunisch reden. Jetzt macht das, we can smaken can daven, but that's it. Essen and that's it. No talking. And mention the Mashiach. This is Meraz the Wurfenkopf. It's intense. You're sitting with yourself. How long can you sit? Just being silent. Nothing. Nobody's speaking. Just silent. So that's where we want to be. That's where we're getting to, which is in a level of presence, of just being with myself. Which means the problem is that there's some people are triggering. If nobody touches me, once you find your perfect spin, you're in your spin. You're generating spin. I'm calling it spin because the Welt draait zich. Ze zijn de zroes van de Amerischen. Altijd zo'n zo, en ze draait zich 330,000 miles per hour, whatever it moves. And it's out of the hand, and as it's moving, it generates energy from his hands. Okay? Misgav badena. Okay. Misgav badena, Tzir moving the chain, Misgav badena, Rashab goes in and breaks down all these different labels, what they mean, how we're being held and all that. So the Vart is about, if nobody triggers me, then you finally find your center and you're right there.
Jetzt triggert man sich schon allein. Das ist nicht jemand.
What do you mean?
Läuft, sowas wie Sachen.
Yeah, correct. But the cup lives because you're being triggered by what you need to keep up with. The weiß noch, was down natural spin is. You don't know that yet. The weiß noch, was is gulas. We never tasted it. You don't know. So that's the Indian of everybody knowing their place and yet being present, yet not being triggered by and there's Echer, and there's Nidhi. It's a building. Everybody needs to fit in. So different levels, but jeder andere is in zijn full vibration.
It's covering the sea. Hinten is the vessel levels. So even that's just kicking jeder gets on one. Aber jeder lot zijn Arbeit.
En dan fish and Wasser. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, so let's get present. Simcha. No pressure. Simcha, whatever you're experiencing coming out of Pesach is so you can measure how far you went on Pesach. We're in a different place. We're in a different space. We're in a different place. It's with Giri from Shabbos. Shabbos is, if you should be misboinen into it, what Shabbos is. There's three levels. There's the nefesh, the ruach, and the neshama. The tshuva of the nefesh is that I don't do. Ich will and ich halt mich zurück. So by doing that, you're breaking out from, you're stopping that massive force that's pushing you to do it, whatever it is. Yeah. That's as kafi. And nogmaals is do the ruach is the spirit, the ruach, and the ruach arbeitet field. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? He's not doing anything that is going to take him out of flow, but he's asking, why am I doing this? Which means why is that I'm tuning into the feeling, I'm getting into the body, getting into the heart. So the Alter Rebbe in the last Portek and Tani is busy with Av and Yere, the train Gatfen, which is the two wings. The Maluchim zay fliehen mit the Fliegel. Was under the Fliegel? Ein Fliegel is Chesed, Ava, and eins is Yere. And this is how they flow, this is how they move, which means that they're constantly in massive gratefulness that the fact that I'm just existing, they're experiencing themselves, feeling yourself, just being grateful for Usachab. That, forget about Usachab, the kind that everybody is healthy, everybody's breathing, and just feeling the gratefulness that I exist, that I can feel myself. A lot of things, forget about what a lot of things, they can and they can't, but not too long ago you did not need to know that you need to feel that you exist, just to be grateful, nishmas kol chai, to be present with it, and that is the tshuva of the Ruach, the spirit. So, in Nuchim is do the neshama. The neshama is on an under level. The tshuva of the neshama is that he's generating from the source of der hat uns gegeben the Welt. Like you're tuning into that, you're living off of that. Also, that's my kind of like vart in it, but really what it is that it's a moment of keser. Keser means ratzon. Don't be intimidated by all the words. We're going to explain everything, but you have to hear it once. Keser is split in two. Keser has oinik, tainuk, has atik, and then it has arik, the long phase, which is the ratzon. And then manabud, because this is kinter of the yidgim with the sarachim, the ratzon points of umpunum, noitze chesed, and this is where it images that flow of ratzon. In Chachma, in Klikschaft, ich kann sein der klickste Mensch. But ich kann sein the beste carpenter. I figured out how to make the nicest table. But compared to the Chachma of a scientist that knows how to fly a plane or how to know, I know nothing. So there's levels. The brick at the bottom, brick on top. We're not competing. It's just two different Chachmas. which in that place, how do I get there? How do I do this? How do I do this? I need to figure out so much. But if you go into the Keser, which is the Rutzen, the desire is equal everywhere. The desire from Olam Asiyah, from physical world, and the desire from Yitzira and Bria and Atzilus is the Zolbe desire, the Zolbe Rutzen. Zolbe Rutzen. So you can back yourself into your desire, and from there you're equal to you can accomplish anything. Because I'm not competing anymore with what I need to figure out. I'm simply getting in touch with my desire, with was ich will, and find my desire. From that place is basically he's noise oven. Alles wird ugewischt in a second. You're not in the bricks and the blocks. You're not in the veins of whatever monstrosity you were put into. But you're backing into the desire, and from that place, we're all equal. Because the Rutzen is the Rutzen. My will is my will. It's not anything specific. It's my will, which is from that place. You can get specific with it. So, Sfira Solemer. What is the Sfira? What is the Sfira? Okay, so this is what we have over here. Here he explains, and here explains, I think this is, what's today? It's Tuesday, this is tomorrow. Okay. Here explains that, just like you're afraid of a camera, just like you're afraid of somebody's watching you, when you're on the street, somebody's watching, like tune into that, feel that you feel somebody's watching you, and you would not, whatever it is that you wouldn't do in front of other people. The same way he is watching. What does it mean he's watching? Not what Paro is telling, he's watching and I got the Shtufim. That's not what the Vart is. That's Hirat Torah, that's child's play. You already know you're not going to do it. You're not going to take a leak on the street. When people watch. When somebody sees you'll do it. But you're not going to do it. I'm going there because I want you to feel, what you need to feel. In a sense of dignity and shame. Now go, why am I not doing it? What am I feeling? Why wouldn't I do this on the street? Why wouldn't I just stand in the middle of the street and eat a sandwich or a mango? Why? What am I feeling? That means he's watching. That's where you want to be with this. You want to feel the presence of he's all around, he's everywhere, and he's in us, he's with us, and it's just that feeling of gratitude, of nishmas kalchai that you're feeling. That is it. That's Eiveshter. That's the vibration that you want to feel. So that's where you want to go with. That's what you want to align with. So, what does this have to do with Sfira Solemer? Let's see. Pashas Emer, V'davar Hashem Moshe Leimer, Davar B'nei Yisrael, V'marta Leim Kisevoi, Al Haaretz, Asher Yinosi B'chem. Then een gaan aankomen in de land was ik hebben. Ik zat hem eens katsira. En me gaat opschnaden die, hoe is me daarvoor opschnaden? Maar wij zijn es oimer reisjes katsira mal de koin. Dat brengen de oimer. De eerste was me schnaden op, dat brengen ze de koin. So when the time
Yeah.
Read it. Thank you, Hashem. Simple. It's that simple. Ga ik eraf in de bak tussen jezelf. See that? I hit it under the thing. When I was cleaning the car for Pesach, how did I clean it? So you have a choice. You can pay $60 or $120, or you can just take out the mat, shake it out, and take the vacuum, and it's cleaned. It's especially when you're up in months, you can just let it out into the thing. So, I like that there's all that. Kisavoy Eladet. Okay, Kisavoy, that one is Matalam, Kisavoy Eladet. Ashar Nosel Chemek Satam Atzira. Now, we need to understand the Torah speaks in many languages. The Torah that when the comes around physically in the land, when you're walking into the land, but we also know that's in Nefesh, but we also know there's something happening in Ruach, something happening in spirit, something happening in the Olam HaMachshava. Okay? There's something Mach, Da'at Yisrael, Makom Shemachshavta, Shalom Shamo Nimtzim. There's something happening in when your Ruach does Tshuva. Tshuva means Tashivka goes back to your Yudke, goes back to your essence. What does that mean? Becoming present with your feelings. Why am I not doing this? Or why do I want? Why am I doing this? So the Torah that do when it's Gamma into Tzul. Now we're going physically into Tzul, but we're also going into Tzul. It first starts over here. It starts within you. There's the Daled Am Shalolach. It's Yeda Yid in Zan Hart hat a fire that is a part and a piece, a brick from the Beis Hamikdash. So Magat Shnad the erste Getzira, aber weiß muss einmal risch gezich mal koin, we hene was einmal von Hashem mit zeig gemacht das Schaus in von koin. Okay. The henef so drasche kalt nu von moilig and maybe mal and moidet. Just in case you think that we're just talking here like just lofty stuff that's not mashkan. Moment push b'shat. Forget about the mamur. Maar gezien is push b'shat in Rashi. Zoekt Rashi. We hebben kalt niet van moeilijke maar we malen moeilijk. Moeilijk met feet met heen en zirik. Erop en erop. Moeilijk en maybe laatste ruches roos. We go back and forth to stop. Ruches roos means spirits. Ruach. Slechte ruches. Malen moeilijk. Laatste tlalem erom. Tal whatever is has to come out from. The tzongem. In takrivi kemishpat, Tomer ist also makro zan yile rotzen lechem. Tomer ist also makro zan dem karben, dass bringen dem oimer, zan for roots and for ink, which is for us the desire. You're going to align with it. You're going to feel it. Memachas ha-Shabbos, memachas yom teverishon shel Pesach. The eerste took noch Pesach, choivel oimer huba, I'm mixing the prashas, and chasim mixing the sach, and we can go in and in the gießen with which is the without bringing a kevis. Kevis is rachamim, moire rachamim. The Alter Rebbe says tomim. It's all kevis tomim is how am I expressing myself? I'm just crying. I'm in pain. Get me out. Soil is the flower, which is chita. Belula b'shemen, which is chachma. Okay. Veniska yain revi sehim lav gisen van. Esfarta lechem machas Shabbos. Okay. So now. If you notice outside in the streets, the trees are starting to pop now. The buds are opening up. Yeah? We have now the allergies are very strong. What is the allergies? We are also Ke'etz Asada, just the way the trees are popping, we're also popping. The whole winter you are in hibernation. You're in freezing mode. You're sitting locked up in the house. In your house, even if you're out, you're still locked up. You're not walking. You're like this. You're holding. It's cold. And comes the summer, mitamul, it starts popping. Everything pops. Your brain opens up. This is the reishis ketzifam. This is the first growth which is happening because we too were planted the whole winter. And nog den Pesach by the Nacht. You got hit with this new consciousness, new awareness. The first seed. This gave us, you were planting the seeds and then came around the eerste regen and it opens up. The vaan, with the matzahs, with the ganze Zach. And we'll go and we'll come back. And nog then komt nog Pesach and the Roden Fafit. Hello, ik kan een rauskriegen van bed. I don't know, ze draait zich, ze read it. Ja, maar als ik over daar ben, wel echt. Nog eens. It's nice. Okay, good. Okay. A ganzen Winter. Ja, noch sick ist. A ganzen Winter. So, you can't there's noch Pesach, so I want you to go into the Ruach of it. Tashiv Ka. What am I feeling? What am I feeling is that I was on a high. We were in a space completely. Shabbos, wasn't it for the Muslim? This is irritable, but I saw it there and it had a new color. Shabbos is a texture of Asid Lo, it's the consciousness that's going to come. Shabbos is where the consciousness is going to come. It is a consciousness going to come, which means that we are in a different space. We're unplugged. You do not have that thing, the phone. You don't have that pressure. You don't have it. It's not there. You saw this Yom Tov, 2 days. Okay, the third day of Shabbos is kicked in. You know, people were like getting a little itchy. Okay, fine. But for the most part, you're disconnected. You're in a different space. That is a gift, because during the week you can't do that. We're doing it over here because we're learning Torah. Torah has the koyah for that. So what you're feeling is the Ruach. You're feeling you need to go with this, go inward, backwards, go inside, and what you're feeling is that you were for 8 days you were in a different planet. You're in a different space altogether. So feel that. That is Tashakah. That's getting in touch with your Ruach. No longer am I have a tava to do it, I'm not going to do it, I am doing it, what am I feeling? Why do I want to do this? What am I feeling? What you're feeling is that you are in an elevated state, you're in a different space. Now you need to hold on to that, Shalom, you need to hold on to that and bring it into your Veld. Bring it into your next 49 days. Okay? I'm still reading over here, we're not in the Tzemach yet. Sheva Shabbos is Temimus Tiyana. Man darf zeilen 7 Wochen. Temimus. Why 7 weeks? Because just the way when a mother gives birth to a child, she needs 7 days of, that she needs to be pure, needs to count. Because she has, she opened up the womb and all that, it was done. So too, we are in a process right now that we gave birth, we were born, and we are not clean. And we need 7, each week is 1 day. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, this is all 1 day. So we have 7 weeks that we need to count, pure days that we're counting down. Yeah? Stimmt? Okay. So this is this. Right there. Next. Zikkelheim. So what happened was, let's go back to, we'll go bekitzer as to where we're coming from, who we are. Okay, Uda Medishan, he was separated from Chava for 130 years, and during that time he wasn't with a partner, so whatever, since he didn't have a partner, and his grand, he was upset. And he went into his brother, and during that time, he had Tzeitzes Sakeri, and sie gegangen auf the andere Zaat, and these spirits were born without bodies. So she can't look for them. They were born without bodies. So they have from Daten is gegangen wat Kolabana Irat Oirat Ashlechiu, midden kneged midden, so wie angeworfen als Schutze. So too, after that, we triggered that same thing that the kids were thrown into the water. Van Daten zijn we gevoeren gaan Daramabel, the same thing. Kehishkes Kalorit, same thing. It was part of the DNA. It was part of who that thing was. So once again, daar een mabel. Van dat we gaan water en daar vlogen. Van dat we gaan in Mitzrayim. And Mitzrayim, endlich, we started finally becoming somewhat humanized.
Saddam. We went to Saddam.
Saddam.
Gaan we dan?
Yeah, Saddam. Okay. Yeah, okay. Saddam. Wow. Yes, it's intense. I know. Saddam is harsh. I mean, I don't want to elaborate on the whole thing as to the impact and the magnitude of all that. I want to get to what's going on over here with the Sfira. Okay. So now, nimmt goes man goes as Chaza Zal the Konas Besed Ibertach Imela Hoysham Az Beginnes Gimel Klilim Begimel, which means that it's important. It's important. It's a little bit. It's a dish, but let's do this because it's important to align so you know who you are. You know your computer. When we do something down here, something up there happens. So if you get disconnected over here, we get disconnected over there. So if over here we get disconnected from where we need to be, from our das, up there also there is no das, which means that we're not present. So if you're lost there, we're lost all the way up there. So what happens is that Zeir Ampum, which is the middas, they went into like a shrinkage, they went into like the mother's womb, and just the way like a baby's in the mother's womb, it's folded in three. Okay, the head is between the knees and it's sitting like this. What that means is that it has no moifim. It doesn't have chachma bin adas, chesed gevur teferes. It doesn't have all these middas because the baby doesn't think and he doesn't have feelings. He just has nahi, netzachad yisoid, which is the two legs, and the yisoid, the reproductive organ, which so to speak, those are the middas that are operating. Which means a behema also has only those three, nahi. A behema weiß, dass es keine Shana in the Wasser is going to get drowned. It knows not to run into the fire. Wieso weißt du? What told him? How does he know? Oh, he knows instinct. What's that instinct? That instinct is called nahi, which means that the neshumas are in like an incubator that we get programmed to know some things naturally, just by knowing it. So it's called Gimel Kalim Begimel. So too were we in Mitzrayim, and so too were we walking around here on the streets up until a certain point. And some still are. They have no das. They're babies. They know not to run into water. They're afraid that they're going to starve tomorrow. They have worries about, they have yisoid, reproductive organ. They want, they need. But there's no das. They're sleeping. Okay? So, now, let's go to das. Das is here in the back of the head. Das is the consciousness. Das is the thing that's bless you. Das is the thing that is aware of your existence. Das is the Zach was Kim Taransia workshop. Right? Das is like, who am I? There behind me, weiß nicht. It is. Ich habe, ich die, ich nehm, ich feel, ich touch. But who am I? That's Das. Das is made out of Hey Chasudim and Hey Geviris. It's made out of 10. So the rechte zat is so the linker zat. And that's what gives him the ability to monitor the whole spiel. Because Chesed is no eins, it's Chesed. Yeah, look it. Yeah. Chesed, man kindness, weiß noch von kindness. Man Gevira, my restraint, only knows restraint. Weiß nicht beide. Teferis is what makes us work together. But still, as a Baha'i, I can have Chesed Gevira and without even knowing what I'm doing. Like, I'm not conscious of why I'm doing it. Das, which is made out of the whole package, and he decides, he feels, he knows to ask the question. Fragt, Das. Okay? Now, Das is Das. Yeah, we're gonna get there. That's what we want to get to. Energy body. So we have these 5 and 5. Now, let's get a little Kabbalistic over here. Okay. Gam tzorach sheteri kel oile mashe hila malo b'chinas acharayim berit alamalo nasir sham b'chinas panim v'nimtzik b'chinas panim la pnimius hem shemis eke gesidrin al b'chinas chetzoni yusam shem b'chinas acharayim hem haribua shal shem eke gezeh alav alavei alavei alavei. Okay. Oile mad, which is mem dalad, which is dam. which is blood. Okay? Let's see what that is. If you are... Okay, we're receiving. We're on this side. We're receiving, and he is giving. Alright? Like this. Yeah? There's the guy for it. Yeah, coming in. Alright. So we have giving and receiving. Welcome. Giving and receiving. Yeah? In the middle, we are the receivers. We are the satellite dish that is receiving. We're the satellite dish that's receiving. And he is giving on us. He's giving to us. Which means that what's his face, we are seeing the other side of it. It's like you look at the letter Hey. You have the letter Hey looking at it from here, the way you see a Hey. And then if I need to see a Hey, I'm seeing it this way. So it's like this. Stimmt? I left my phone. I want to show it to you. Okay. No, but this is it. Right? This is it. You see? Cut. When D kicks off a letter, D kicks off a high, you look at the letter Hey, you look at it this way. Die is line van Azoi. Hier gaat line van Azoi. If, let's say if the line says the Siddur, Fadir the Siddur there, come here the Siddur there. So down Punim, with these is the Punim zeg from the back. With these is, so as die hals the Chimish Azoi, if you're looking at it like this, Fadir is the Punim, but Fadir is the back.
But if it's being presented to me, then I see the Punim not open.
Yeah, you are. These are hold on a second. 1 second. Yeah, stem. This is the Punim and this is the back. He is the face. Oy Punim. He is the face. We are seeing the back. Okay? Just go with it. Alright? Everybody wants to know why. What's the point in all this pain? What's the purpose? What's the point? What's the point? The liches zijn given see-through. Remember that? Yes, by the Zaten. The liches hat man gesehen. It was one of the miracles. It's not possible. It's not possible for us to see it the same way because he is there and we're receiving. We're in the bottom of it. We're looking up to him. Abba, we're looking up to him. He's giving us. So the liches, we're talking like this, but we messed up and Moshe had to break it. Because we went so far deep that we were lost. Achala and Karuga. He's like, I'm going to wipe them out. They can't exist. They dropped too deep. I showed them my face. You can't come back from my ego. They're in a bubble. We got trapped in a bubble and we couldn't process that. So all we saw was Acharayim. Okay? Now that is the Hei Chasudim and the Hei Gevuras. Hei Chasudim, Hei Gevuras. Which is, which is that Das, my understanding, is made out of Hei Chasudim, which is the Punim, and then the Hei Gevuras, which is the other side of it. That is the trouble here. That we're like this. Now, again, why? It's a good afternoon. We have to go into Gulas because the way we came into Welt, we came in without bodies, like Uda Marishan. So we had to go through a bitter. What's that? Yes, I get. We'll do that later. You know, the whole thing is a spiel. The whole thing, but good. The whole thing is a spiel. But if you go deeper with it, then it's not really a spiel. It's a game for real, because Sof he created something. He created something that he wanted to experience him. So he created something that's outside of him. Okay, 1 second. Which is outside of him. And he wants us to connect with it. He wants us to be oipanav. We're getting to see him face to face once again. That's where Malchus is going to meet Keser Pana B'Pana. Okay? Once again, whoever doesn't understand the term, the terminology, it's fine. We're explaining it, and then all you need to do is just feel. We're going Tashav Ka on the Ruach, on the Spirit. We're bringing back the Spirit. We'll do Chazura again soon. So, he wants us to, he really wanted his children. We're coming out of him, and he wants us to come back to him. Now, in the meantime, what is Klippa? Where does Klippa come from? Where is this Choshech coming from? Where is it coming from? He created it. No. So what's the spiel? Well, the spiel is real. It's a real game. Which means like this. He wanted to create, he was everywhere. Which means there was no place that there wasn't everything. We were just it. We were just the ocean, the water, everything. Everything was a part of the water. There was no separation. And we couldn't experience ourselves. So he kind of like, the mushal is that he pulled his stomach in. He sucked in his stomach, and he created a chulul. He created an empty space in the middle. Okay? Which means that there was a place that he was not, for a second, so to speak. That gilui was not there anymore. He pulled himself in. That created, now the minute he pulled in, it became, he is up here, and this is a reflection of him down here. So that reflection is the acharayim. Which means, if I move my hand this way to pick up this object, I'm giving it to you, but what's happening if somebody's sitting behind me? He sees this side. He gets hit from my arm. It's a secondary. If I'm moving my hand this way, so I'm causing a reaction in the back. We are in the back right now. Ipunai loire isi, rakas achoyre. What? Ris achoyre. Mekene shem ampunim. He told Moshe, like, show me what he didn't really, what he asked him was, I'm trying to figure out how you work. So we don't want to step on your toes, so to speak. There's constant eruptions in the midbar. They ask for bread, they ask for water. But you can only see a choyre, you can see my back. So, as he pulled in his stomach, this is a muscle, so to speak, he created an empty space. So that's where the gevuras happened. That's where gravity happened. The pull started. Because there's gvul and there's bli gvul. You want to get, there's bli gvul, it's endless, and then at the same time there's a gvul also. There's something that stops it. So there is massive gravity pull over here. This thing is holding back and this thing is pushing. And we're in the middle of that. And that can show up on every level. It shows up. It shows up in your physical. It shows up in your emotional, in your ruach and nefesh ruach. It shows up not in the neshama, but it shows up, in the neshama too, everywhere. So now we ininu ke ela he chasadim b'hei gevurish b'da za hina he chasadim im hei levushim shalham yordim b'yisad za. It comes into the yisad za. We'll go in a minute. V'hei gevurish im chemish levushim shalham yordim b'yisad anakeva. ואחר כך בעשר זיווג נויס נזל מן הסרט שבא ליסוד הנוקפה גם עשה היך הסודם עם ההילה ושם ונמצא בסוד הנוקפה כל הסר הלבושים שם יפום עמדם כנal ואחר כך מן החסודם מן הגבריס עצמה נוצר ממבלת בבית ננקבה. Now, so there's a whole system. There is Ekya 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1, 2, 3, 4. So as we went into the Pesach program, there's this birth is happening, and we're coming down, which is we're going in from Das. It comes in while it's still up here in Moichen. Pesach, you're good. While you're still in the Moichen, you're good. But once it starts coming into, it comes lower, it goes through the neck, it comes in lower, it goes into the heart. As it starts showing itself, which means that Bina is showing up, whatever was hidden in the mother's womb comes out. The children are born. That's where the trouble starts. What's that? Allergies, yeah. That's where the trouble starts, which means once you're going back out into the world, now you're getting triggered. He said this work, that's called Yanikim. It's called that they're pulling, they're starting to drain. You were in a space for 8 days, you're in an elevated space, and all of a sudden, as you're coming out and you're exposing yourself, here you're protected. You're protected because the whole Yom Tov you were locked away. You were on top of the mountain. Nobody had access to you. That's why you don't work Chol Moed. You want to detach, disconnect. But the minute, that's why we don't eat Pesach. You strict all these menhugim, understanding the ruach of it. Is there certain foods you want to be? You don't want to be detected. We're in the anonymity. We're in the cloud. You don't want to be detected. I realized this year, why not to eat garlic and Pesach. Minig is still Torah, and minig that Eden haben is Torah. So lately, man's garlic because Bemas muzuk sich gewachsen in the Weiz and hand nish, hand yeah. So me'es garlic, whatever. But then I realized that it is because garlic is something that sends away. It's like sage. It's Hasidic sage. Right? So Pesach, we're not in that space. We don't want to expose ourselves that way. We want to just stay. We're in a different cloud. They can't pick us up. So now what happens is let's go one more step. From the blood that when the child is born, when it gets, he calls it, what's the word? When it gets refined. When it gets refined, this blood, it becomes milk. That's what a child drinks. It becomes dam toeh. Shehu bechin is din kosher v'kodesh. It's kosher. It's din kosher v'kodesh. It's holy. It's separate. Kodesh means movdul. It has its own program. And the pesoros from that hand klippes gemuris dam tameh. That's tameh. So that's why, by the way, we eat cheese on Shulas. Because right now we're going through the 7 weeks of cleanliness, of cleaning the body. We'll get to that in a minute. So if you're experiencing any type of Vilkat also throughout this, coming out of Pesach, going back to all that is processing this. There's dam tameh. We just gave birth. We're just born. By the way, like this, the allergies, how to deal with the allergies. I don't want to sound like a scientist over here. Like they say that you should put the blower in for COVID. Remember that guy? So I don't want to sound like a scientist, but this is what it is. Chassidus. If you walk next to trees, next to roses, you get almost like a high. You have you get like a coffee high from it. It opens up your head, and for those who can't handle it, get allergies. Most of us, it's because we're closed. But really, it's used as a tabak. It's used as the way to do it is to be very calm, and if you're present, the allergies won't hit you. If you stay present. When you start running, that's when it gets you. The minute one scratch, one itch, you got to be present. Don't give in. He's standing right here. Bast. Take a shower. Water. That's if you stay present, then it can't touch you. So now comes the process of refinement. Going into the Omer. Let's see if we have one more thing here that we want to share. So we got the Dam, V'achkach Chasudim, Shdu Chasudim, Ruchel Inen Gulas. Okay. So the Lishma Suga Eke Beribua, Shem Yitpe Dam, Yitpom Dam. Okay. That. Any questions? Okay, so once again, the idea here is to go into the 3 levels. You have Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama. There's 3 levels of Tshuva. Yeah? Tshuva is coming back to your heart, coming back to your desire, coming back to your peace, coming back to your center. You have Nefesh is where it's in the physical world, where I'm saying, I'm not doing this, I'm holding my hands back, because we are in an electronic ball, and we keep being fed. My thoughts are feeding, and my childhood, everything is feeding. I'm automatically attracting the electricity that I'm dialed into. So if I was put down, I'm going to be attracting that low conscience, and we're Tachas Kira Barzel in Mitzrayim, it's intense. One of the ways to do this is by saying no. That's the nefesh. She stops, so like this, you stop the flow. But then there's still a battle. You always have to say no. You have to say, every time you have to fight that war one-on-one. The next step is to go into the Ruach, which is the spirit, is to where you're turning the table, saying like, why am I not doing this? What am I feeling when I'm not doing this? Once I get in touch with my feelings, then you're building the wings. Now you're starting to fly. Which is one side is the Chasudim, and one side is the Gevuras, which is the Av and the Yira, the love and the awe. So I go and I go, and then I know my place. That, in other words, I go for it. I want to embrace, and I feel compassion, I feel love, and all that. But then when life gets too hard, and you're like, why is this happening to me? And now I'm in awe. And you look up and you're like, your problems are really just in your head. It's this huge world, and we're just these little processors over here. Okay, that is the other wing. And this is how, with everything you do, that gives you the fuel to continue going. There's one more thing. Yeah, let's do a few minute meditation. Let's close the hands. So, close your eyes, relax. Get present, feeling. That you just relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your legs, feel yourself sitting on the chair, on the couch, being supported by your back is supported, you fully relaxing your stomach, your chest, your throat, the ears, the eyes, the head, sinking in, feeling the security that there's no doubt in your mind right now that a chair is going to fall or that the couch is going to give. You're just sitting fully surrendered. Just the last time, if you were Zoche, you felt this when you were a child being held by your mother, by our mothers, being held when there's a moment of peace. Being in that space, that child, when he feels that full presence, fully present, he also feels the nervousness, he feels the anxiety, he feels the fear. He feels that too, and that transfers over because that's what you know. You're in the incubator, feel it. That's how deep this goes. Feeling it in your solar plexus, feeling. But we need to go back. We need to go back to Das, back to trusting, being held. As the mother is being held by the floor, she's being held by the support, by the beams, being held by the foundation, the earth, layers and layers of earth, holding in each other until we're just being held. Till the edits al-bilima, being held in nothingness. We're being held by the two arms, Mizgav Badenu, and this ball is spinning in the arms of our father, our mother. He's generating this, giving us the koyach and the chiyas. As it's spinning throughout the Oim of the Sphira, it's cleaning us, getting ready for Matan Torah, getting ready for the Kesser, getting ready to meet Kesser and Malchus in our physical world, in the lowest place that we can be, in the physicality, which is an absolute separation. But yet, in this space, we're going to meet face to face by getting in touch with the Ruach, getting in touch. Or Nachman says that he spoke about that Achan Shel Pesach, we're talking about Mashiach is going to split the Naharis, is going to split the wells. Hanor Yotze Me'eden. The Nor is the Tach. The river is coming out of Eden. Nor is Bina, left brain. Eden is right brain, which is Chachma. Be'ever Hanor, Yeshua V'Sechem. Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, they're sitting Be'ever Hanor, which means that they are sitting in a place which is just the way we split the sea. Splitting the sea is that our bodies got disconnected from this vibration that we were plugged into, the static that we kept feeding off of. You had no choice. You couldn't get out of your own spin. You couldn't get out of your own. Your matzah was your matzah, but that was split by Shvi Shal Pesach when we split the sea. And now, as we're in the living the times of Mashiach, which is living the times of going into Yechida, going into oneness, L'malchus Mitzkeser, there's going to be, we're splitting the Nahar. And when we split the Nahar, the Tach starts pouring out from Gan Eden, and that's where we meet Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, which means that this consciousness is floating in here. It's flowing in here. What are the seven? It's going to be split. The first Nar was the Yamsa was split in one. The Nar is going to be split in seven. What are the seven? These are seven paths, seven ways in the brain. The seven ways in the brain, says Rahman, is the two eyes, the two ears, the two nostrils, and the mouth, which is seven, which is the seven Nechalas. What does that mean? It means that in Nefesh, when you see, I see physical, I see the table, I see whatever is going on out there, I see the tree, I see the car. But in Ruach, when you start seeing, once you split the Noah, what are you seeing? What am I experiencing when I see? What is it that's seeing? Where is it seeing? Are my eyes seeing? But the eyes are just the lens. What is seeing? There's another vision. The ears, I hear. What do I hear? What hears? What happens when it hears? Who happens when it hears? The smell. Getting present with the smell. Ruach Shel Mashiach, it all happens in the nose, it opens up, it clears up. While in Golus, all you smell is garbage. But there's a whole other smell. And then mouthless speech, recognizing that the voice, the mouth that speaks, from the perspective, from the view of the Ruach, of the spirit, of the energy body, what speaks? The mouth is just a keli that moves for the voice to come out. But what speaks? What is the voice? Where is the voice coming from? What generates the voice? Just take a deep breath in. I have to go to the bathroom. Call it Smoise Tamarno. It's a living organism that feels. It's not that I have to go. There is a spirit there. There is a koyel there. There is a processor that processes that and also processes my thoughts and processes the energy. The same way that's real, so too is that real. So too that is real. So getting into where we're all equal, where we all meet, is in the raw, is in the desire, in the ratzon. When you're still tangled up in your abilities, then you're limited. He's better than me. Because you're still operating through the plastic, the balloon that you're in, the glove that you're in. But when you're going into the desire, the ratzon, from that place, two things happen. Noise oven, which means that everything is wiped off. Everything is forgiven. What does it mean everything is forgiven? Not in nefesh, that I chagetin an aveir and I'm being forgiven. Everything is forgiven means that your whole structure that you are operating from is wiped away. You can tap into the raw desire. What do I want? I want peace. I want shefa. I want whatever you want. What's limiting is when you're in your body, that's limiting you. How is it possible for me to happen? That's how Pari keeps you b'chomer levenim. You're locked in cement. You can't get yourself out of there. V'hoye ki v'yach Hashem al eretz haknani v'achiti v'hamoiri v'achivi v'ayvisi asher nishbel avasecha lo seslach. Says the Ramat Valley. These are the chamisha chasadim. Hey chasadim. The Eibusha says, I'm going to give you the best of everything. Knani, Chiti, these are all midas. Knani, which is Kaas, Chitis, Gevura, Amori. I'm going to give you all that because these are the Acharaim, but they're holding something on the other side of that. Behind your anger and behind your temptation and behind your uncontrollable desire, there is something on the other side of that. That's the other hay. That's the ponim b'ponim. And he wants to bring us the ponim b'ponim. This is the month that we left. This is the month that we're out. Everybody got out. It's just a matter of how deep you want to drop into it. You want to drop into the bag, all the way to the bottom. That is the Sfiras Ha'omer. So Sfarta Mechem says the Alter Rebbe, Sfarta Mechem is Lashon sapphire. Sphira means polishing. He talks about the Omer, he talks about the Midas, he talks about it in energy. It's all Behidas, making it light, bringing the light to it. Okay, I think that's clear. Shamayim B'nechol Barachamim Toshu Sishkam B'soichol Kasher Dibaton Shamayim B'nechol Barachamim Shemai Mirchov Barachamim Toshu Sishkam B'Soicha Kasher Divata V'chisei David Avdecha Yoy 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 Meheira Meheira B'Soicha Tochen U'b'nei Yosa B'Karoi V'yameinu V'yameinu B'Yano Yivam V'chisei David Avdechu You guys ready to go fly with the angels? You ready to go fly with the angels?
Let me spread my wings.
Huh?
Let me spread my wings.
Okay. Well, we're gonna an excavator, no problem. We need an excavator too. But I'm not one van deze. Dit is stuck. My motor is stuck? Okay, we'll check into it.
Seems like rules.
Alright, so I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna do pieces here and pieces there because this is it's a long piece. So we're just gonna go to the Inyanim. Alright. Okay, so the first thing is that Reishis Ketzirchem, which is, listen to this. Freaking anybody out of it. Gotta keep it somewhat civilized, right? Going with Mishnah is the wood. Mishnah is the wood in Sweden. So, who is Moses from the Mayach? Whatever that's the sidus. We're living through the sidus from Creator. We just get a little bit through these 10 pipes, otherwise we wouldn't be able to handle. So once again, the pain that you feel, the pain that you're experiencing, that's the gevuras, that is okay. The pain, the squeeze that you're feeling, you're not meant to process that. I mean, of course, after you've done the work, you've been processing it for 20 years and sitting now actively in the last few years or the last few months in your process and inner child work, but that's not where you need to be. The squeeze is there to squeeze you so you can find the separation from it. You need to separate yourself from it. That's your suit. That's where you don't want to come through, you want to go in. You want to go inward. So as soon as the tree starts popping, your brain starts opening up, now's the time to polish the omer, to bring the sfira. Svartem lechem. Start counting the omer. The omer means that the first night of Pesach there was this massive yichud, this light came in, then it was pulled out. It was pulled out right after that. The second day was pulled out, which is the question. If it's pulled out, that means that we're already tamei during Pesach. But whatever, the light is strong enough, we're still protected, which means that even though we're already kind of, they usually use the word bloody, even though it's already dam tameim throughout Pesach, but there's still no yanikin. Because you're still protected, you're still only eating matzah and you're not busy working, whatever that means for you. Okay? You're still protected in the bubble, which means that there is no yaniki, you're not exposed out there, you're not going back. So that's why we're still tired, that's why we can still process. So the first thought, the first ideas, now that you're fresh, start investing. This is Reishis Ketzirchem, Asiris Efa. Efa is Peh, Yud Aleph Peh, Asiris, which means that you need to use this time to count the omer, which you're starting to go through reverse engineering. You're going to every midah, every feeling that you can, the way your body is made out of, with every type of combination, which is 49 levels, which can be a crazy mess. We did this 49 times 10 times 7. It's endless. Times 7. Yeah, you have 40 every day. It's chesed, and then you have 7 days of chesed. Gevurah, 7 days of gevurah. The first Netzvah Malchus, which is without Malchus. So it's 49. 7 times 7. And it's endless possibilities once these two start communicating with each other. Chesed with Gevurah Shabbat Teferes. I mean, what that looks like is a perfect storm that you're experiencing you're in the middle of your week. When you're just like, what am I doing here? It's overwhelming. The Fafir, the Zifafir, Lamachop, business, that is when these, all in energy, that's what's happening. These midas are all over, overlapping each other. And your own projections and the way we are forced to see things through this, because this is what I was given, right? Mommy told me, or Tati, whatever, nobody activated me. So, we're counting down the Omer by becoming aware of where the tightness is, counting down, and this is how we are wearing out the acheraim of it. The backboard of this face, the back of the chumash, all of a sudden becomes see-through. Now it's like this, we're in the acheraim, but all of a sudden, sudden you're working, you're putting in the time, this it becomes see-through, and then it becomes back to Shavuos, which is Matan Torah, and the lichas are Panim B'Panim. This is what we're bringing back. Moshe broke the lichas into 10. I believe I saw it somewhere. Maybe Rav Nachman. It broke it into 10, and the 10 is, the 10 midas. He brought it down into Welt. Machtas HaShekel, a 10 Esel, which is 10 and 10. Okay, so this is the work, and then once again, from this blood turns into milk, which is the Torah is dvash, cholav dvash, and that's why Shavuos we're eating. We bring two chita. We bring bread made out of chita, which is out of wheat, which is chita is 22 oisius. We did this, and now in Pesach, and now the oimim we bring sa'orim. Sa'orim is machal behem. Okay, I'm going to do the mind a little bit outside. Sa'orim is machal behem. What is sa'orim? Behemoths eat sa'orim. What is the behemoth? Who is the behemoth? We are the behemoths. Our bodies is called the nefesh habahamis, the animalistic soul. You ever heard that expression? The animalistic soul, the nefesh eliki, and the animalistic soul, which is the behemoth Rabbah. This whole it's the Sharabar and Levusim, the showdown, the war of the Sharabar and Levusim, which is your Levusim inside, your little tzaddik inside is fighting with the Sharabar. It's a massive showdown. It's an intense war. Fighting, Marasach by the cat. People want to break, and this is you fighting with the Sharabar. So what happens is that we can't. There's a system. So when we do something over here, it goes levels. So you have a piece of bread. It's physical bread. You eat it, you chew it, you feel the taste. It goes into the body. It goes there. Then it also goes into your brain. The best of the best goes into your head, and this is how you think. And this is called the Iddish Iddish. It's the most dakis Shabbat. It's your brain picks up like the most edela thoughts happen in your head. You can pick up different vibrations, different things. That is what happens from the food. So too when we daven, when we speak, when you eat, anything you do, it goes up and down. That means that Bnei Yisrael, we're bringing panasa to the Eidish, so to speak. Because by us doing, we're sending up these malachim abin, they bring up thoughts, you're davening, everything goes up, and by the time it gets to where it needs to get to, it's one drop. One connection, one drop. When you do a protein intake, it's like from a whole chicken. There's like 1-2 ounces that makes it to the muscle. The rest gets burned. Right? Really, that's all we need to eat. If you eat high conscious food, you need to eat a little bit. Right? You eat a fresh squeezed juice, it can carry you because it goes straight to where it needs. It gets to the point, and the body doesn't have to work to waste all that energy to break it down. Because when we eat, a lot of it we eat with the eyes. That's the behemoth. He eats and it also pulls us down. But if you eliminate that whole process, that's how you go to the Iddish B'Iddish. Now, these are the malachim, they bringing our messages up and they're bringing it back down. They're sending up and they're bringing back down Shefa. So it keeps going like this, like ganze machnas, ganze Sachen. That's why when you daven, you want to connect to the tzaddik, to somebody, and you machaven all the tefillos to him and let him figure out how to do it. Because for us it's too complicated. We don't know kavanas. So you daven and they know what it is. It's called Ksali's Kesarim. They're making little crowns. In the crown, they're making little designs. So now, what happens is that as we are now, the Sa'odim have just popped, the wheat has just started, the Sa'odim, the trees are starting to grow, which means our brains are starting to grow. So we're taking from the first Sa'odim that grows in the field, and we bring it to the Beis HaMikdash. The Sa'odim represent the Gevuras, because who eats Sa'odim? Sa'odim is bread made out of barley. If you have chulent and barley, it's a churban. It's work. Okay, but if you have chita, rice, it's a different story. Try it. So now the Sa'odim is, so now we're bringing that, the first that grows, we're bringing that to the Beis HaMikdash. The Kohen Ish Elin, he represents Chesed. The Kohen was Chassadim, which means that we're giving him the Gevuras. we're bringing the Baal Tim, and he does what he has to do with his kavanas and the mizbeach, the mincha, and what happens is he bribes the malachim. He gives it to them, they take it up, and then he sends down more shefa. My thoughts, I'm bringing it to the Kohen Israeli. I'm counting the Omer, which means that now I'm measuring. Omer means a measurement. Okay, I'm taking measurement. I received the first night, I received this new light, this new koyach, and now I'm starting to count. My chesed shebechesed, gvura shebechesed. I'm taking measurement, I'm taking charge of it, and just to simplify it, you don't need to get into this, that, and the other. It's just simple being mindful. And I'm gonna start working on it now. Last year, it takes a minute till we get into it. We're gonna do like a skeleton. We'll start posting it every day. I already spoke to the designer. We're going to do the skeleton and the body. Chesed do it the first netzachot, and every day the color of that sphere. And every day it's going to be aligned. If it's chesed, gvura shebechesed, you're going to have a line running from here with the color. And if it's netzachot shebechesed, there's a line coming here. And by simply being mindful of that is the Ruach, the spirit of it. Just getting mindful of that. Yeah? You follow? We did it last year we did it, but like very short, but hopefully we'll be able to do something with it. So now, we're bringing the Gvura. So now, hey Gvura say Chasadim. So we are bringing the Omer. The same thing we're doing right now, Reishis Ketzichem, we're bringing our thoughts, we're bringing the Omer, and which means we're feeding the Behemoth Rabbah, we're feeding the Malachim, and then Shafak can come back down. So this is what we're doing with the Omer. So here it comes like this. Ad kan l'shon azoy, mit geschmelach sham loven kol ze inyan seoir Hashem, seoir hey. Shu innen bin lamachs magvois. Yes, lahak the mashkas from Makavas Yecheskel. Pneumet Knafein Perudis Melamala. He's talking about Yecheskel has an avoid. He's seeing the angels and their faces. Knafein Perudis Melamala. It's spread out upward. Perish Knafam who the Chili Rechim Shalom Malachim. He saw the awe and the ava from the Malachim. Sham Kamashla Knafein Ba'oif. It's like the wings of a bird. Shebehem Val Yadam Oifim Klape Mama. Through that, Azoy flee the Feigelerov. The Poichel Mchotz Cheftem. They go wherever they want to go. Uchikasim. Ken Malachim Shenikar Oifis. The Malachim also are called birds. Uchikasim Razal. The Oifis and Mechal. The Oifis and Gabriel. Hema Parchim Ba'oid. Avas Uchikasim Abiras Mastarak Lamala Kolom Mukurim. Zesad Ba'aras Kamal Lapidim. That through feeling why I'm doing something, through feeling it, this is how you start flying. This is how you take off. So your wings are no longer, my physical, but really, what am I experiencing when I'm doing it? Getting into the body with it. What am I feeling with that? And this is how you start to separate yourself from whatever is happening down there. So all of a sudden, you can walk into a place which previously it was a trigger, and now it's not a trigger anymore. You're not speaking the same language. Okay, and you're going to watch how they're looking to pull you in, trying to, because a lot of times, especially when families we get together, they're looking to, to bring up a topic, to make conversation. Okay? So, once you do this, you start separating yourself from it. You create separation. He screams like, roars like a lion. That's the Ava, Malach Mechal. The shor, which is the shor, he's on the left side. Malach So we have this Merkava is made out of, you have the shor, you have the bull, you have the Arya, the lion, you have the Nesher, which is the eagle. These are levels in consciousness. And then you have the Pnei Adam. Not many of us are making it to Adam. There's only few in a generation that make it to Adam. They're holding Adam is, that's Yaakov Avinu. There's very few, Adam. So you go from Shar, you go to Ayah, and from there you go into Nesher. Nesher is, Nesher is good. Which is once you are in Nesher mode, you're balanced. Then Ava V'yira. V'hi midas arachmanas. Okay. Midas arachmanas. Kilosiv, Kenesher Yar, Kinei. This is where he's going to be flying like a Nesher. Which means, this is when you are balanced. That is your ego. When you have your Ava and your Yira. Because in the Megven, B'chomer Levenim, and Shibud Mitzrayim, Lo Ho Yiriyim L'Schus L'Ila Nifra the Matan Torah. we're not eligible for Matan Torah. Shadibra Hashem Lam Ponim B'Ponim. We're not eligible for Matan Torah. Ki'im Aladeis Oder Sanachim Rabim Alain. Only through a lot of mercy, a lot of your, listen, I can't anymore. You're not trying to negotiate. You're just saying, this is not working anymore. Let's help. You're Mo'oder Rachmim Rabim through that. You're tapping into the depth of your heart. As long as you're still negotiating, you're negotiating. And when there's a negotiation, you're negotiating. There's a give and take. But if you're going into your heart and you're Mo'oder Rachmim Rabim, you say, I have no questions, I just can't anymore. Right? Get me out of here. That is Mo'oder Rachmim Rabim. This is important. Listen. The others are here. How? 10:35? Okay. And the reason that their wings are spread is because of this chalkas ha'oil. Okay? This applies to us. We're just talking here in Mashal and Nimshal. Okay? That the reason that the wings are spread, which means that you are in separation, is because there is a separation in the light. It's because the way the light comes in, it's in a glove. It's in separation. Their whole existence is from the Dibur and the Ruach of Eibishter. Ruach Piv Kol Tzavam. The angels are Ruach Piv. We are Chelik Elokayim Emal Mamash. That's right. We are way higher level than the angels. The angels are Ruach Piv. They're only from the Hevel, from his Dibur. Shalaboyres Baruch. Ik geloof Mamar is over Oivzem, Michael, and it's about Allah Shemtru for Oisesel, Shomer Hashem Shesh Meireshis, Michael, Machnei Begvil, Machnei, Adela Zebekulum, Begin is Dibber and Nico Shamal Hashemayim. Kedibber Melech Shalten, Shalten Manik Melchis. When the king speaks, he rules. So too our king spoke and he ruled. He created what he did well to do. Shamelech Manik Melchis Bedibber. Zesad Vibarim, Behei Barim. When he created with the hay. We're getting back to the two hays. Hay Chasadim and Hay Gevuris. Okay? The das, the back of the head. You need l'chaim.
A lot of things.
Not because he's going to grab this, or
No, ich muss sehen.
So God with?
Die erste Nacht hat's gehabt.
Okay, ich sehe, nur das zweite Nacht ist der Bull. Nur die oder die ganze Röden? Is he toch drinken? Okay, next day. Okay, hey, listen, I told you need two wings. You can't do it with one wing. How do you want to fly with one wing? You have two choices. Either you do a double cuz, so your mom's one wing is as powerful as two, or you gotta take the whole crew with you. Okay, let's see. You want to go? Okay, this is important. The dibber from Eibishter, as far as this works, is split into 5. Just like our speech is divided in 5. So there is, from these 5 expressions, there are created 4 machnas, 4 Michal, Gavril, and the 2 others. So we ask a question, why is there only 4? right? If there's hey mitzvahs, why is there only 4 machnas of malachim? The 5th one is not what comes down to us, which means as follows. When he's going to go in soon, there's different expressions. There's expressions that come from the throat, expressions that comes from the lips. Okay, different letters that are triggered from different places. But when we eat, when you taste the food, the thing that tastes the food, it's called chachma. Chaych. That's chachma that has tam. It's a very complex machine. If you think about it, what tastes the food? When it's in your mouth, when it's in your throat, what tastes the food? When you swallow, what tastes the food? What tastes the food is called chachma. It's tremendous wisdom. It's not wisdom, it's chachma. And he's able to decipher and equalize what to feel and how to feel. And that is the 5th. So we have 4 machnas, but then there's the 5th. It means that you have 4 possibilities. Avayira and balancing and all other types of islahavas. We have four different, but then if there was only these 4 without the 5th, then there would be chaos. Which is the same way as the midas, my body without my das, which is chaos. That's where behemoth world exists. That's where I'm out of control. That's where my day is it's running me over and I can't, it's too much. And that's where I'm looking for the wrong connections. I feed myself with wrong connection because I have no das. I'm just reacting. I'm in a reactionary mode. But once you apply the 5th, which is the das, now we're in business. Now you're able to say, whoa, okay, stop. Let me think for a minute. That's where das comes in. And when you're in das, that's when you're taking control. And sometimes, most of the time, when you're in the Ruach, when you're going into the 2nd level, all you need is to be present. And it happens. Stuff starts happening. They may need a little touch, so the sleepiness becomes aware that there's a shift happening. You need to be moited a little bit. It's called making to declare. I'm declaring that I'm quitting smoking. I'm declaring that I no longer, you can no longer talk to me this way. I don't appreciate it when you talk to me this way. I don't have to get. I'm not in my body. I'm not getting all crazy. I'm like, I don't appreciate it when you talk to me like this. What? You're selfish. You're what is it? You're doing this whole thing. You're becoming. I'm not selfish. I'm just fine. I'm just myself. I'm here. I can do it. But you can't pull me into this. And you start getting triggered. The person tries to pull you in. Like, let's just discuss. You're gonna ignore me? Let's just talk about it. Let's go. Let's get this thing going. Come on. And depends on what type of a salesman you're dealing with, he's able or she's able to pull you into it. Okay? So that is the 5th. That's das. Das is I'm declaring, and there's a battle. It's not working. It works. It takes a minute to detach from this bubble. If the 2 bubbles and they come together, you have to separate them. Sometimes it pops, which is good. What? All right. Which is Gimel Yud Chav Kaf, which is from the throat. Just like your throat, your physical throat has a mal, it has something special that it's able to feel the timing. Listen to this. You want to know what Keser and timing feels like? What you feel in your throat. Tainuk. He's giving you little addresses so we can start tapping in the physical body to something that is more. Because why is he giving you it's from the Oitzes Chaim. It's very interesting. Your throat tastes food. So too your throat, your spiritual throat, which is your energy, in your chachma, that's where the secret of taste lies. V'gilui taneg elyon, and the revelation of taneg elyon, shebachal olam, which means that in your higher conscience taneg, ruach taneg, lafi erka gilui taneg eliki anim shechamei b'im oiris habaruch shemakar chaim amakar tanugim, which is the makar taneg on the kanum. 1 second. U'bechinas hachachma sheboy chayich ma chachma. Chachma is chaychma, which is chaych is the throat. ma is koyach ma. It's like ma. What is it? In other words, toile eretz al b'li ma. The world is spinning like this. What is it hanging on? What's holding it? B'li ma. Toile eretz al b'li ma. It's hanging on nothing. It's just in mid-air. That's a powerful meditation. You can crack the window open, if you want. That is the Torah Eretz Al Belima. If you want to be misboinen on that, meditate on that you are sitting, the table, the floor all the way down. Torah Eretz Al Belima, falling into nothingness. If you can get in touch with that, make 30 seconds connection with that, or 10 seconds. That's a reset. Perfect alignment. What does that mean? Let's talk about it for a second so we don't stay up there in perfect alignment. Perfect alignment means that when you tap into such a high vibration, all the low vibration, it's a cleaning. I'm feeling good right now, but it's going to pass. That feeling that you're feeling good right now, that is a healing energy. It's a higher vibration energy that comes into your body. And just like a Motrin. Motrin also only works for 3 hours. Okay? We shouldn't need, and it should not need more than one, for those who do. That time in Bekesser, you have the time, the trap is in Kesser. Select of the Kesser is do the time. In the Sefer Torah, the trap, the crown, the time is on the Kesser. Begam b'chochma Hashem ki ha-Kesser hu makar ha-Tainug.
Kesser of the Choch?
Kesser in Chochma.
Kesser the makar ha-Tainug or the Choch?
Kesser the makar ha-Tainug. Tainug is in, Kesser split in two. You have Kesser Elyon, you have Atig, and you have Arich. You have Atig is Chochma, is Tainug. And then you have Arich, which is the long face, which is Ratzon, which is the lower part of Kesser. Chochma, which is the right brain, which is beyond logic. This guy doesn't think logical. As far as he's concerned, it's really you're checked out. There, this guy, the left brain, is like, what do you mean? You have things to do, you have obligations, you have this, and he's telling you, I don't know. You ever heard these people? They're like athlete, and he's grounded or she's grounded, he's up there. What means is the one is, living there, and the other one is living here. You need both. These are two that don't separate. But Kesser has an antenna into Chochma has an antenna into Kesser because he's Koyach Ma. What does that mean, Koyach Ma? Because Koyach Ma means that just the same way you have Torah Eretz Al Belima. What does the world hang on? It hangs on nothing. But if I need to understand it, left brain is like, no, this is too scary. I need to figure out how this holds. How is it? Left brain is like, how can my problems go away? It can be. It's not possible. But this guy, since he's like, I just trust that because I know, it's called Chachmas, called Kitoivli, stuff, he knows what good is. I know that it's good. And I know that it's all good, so it's going to be good. I don't care how. He just falls into Koyach Ma. Now it's a process. You can't just check out and be irresponsible. You have to build up to it. That's where we're heading. Yeah, that's Gan Eden right there. Through Chachma you're able to speak. How am I what's separating the words from coming out? How the words are coming out? That's Chachma. That's a massive computer, a processor that's able to separate the words, and one word should, fall next to the other, and it comes out. It's also Malchus that makes it happen because we're in time and space. But Chachma is the one that is the instigator behind this.
Why not Binah?
Because Binah is too logical. Binah is going to say, it doesn't make any sense. Where's the voice coming from? First of all, Chachma and Binah work together. But in this particular case, behind everything, there's levels that Chachma, that only Chachma can process. Because Binah is going to figure out how this works, and stuff, you get to a place where, where's my voice coming from? Yeah, there's a box, and the Alter Rebbe has a mimer on this in the Key Shofar, where he gets into detail from the Baal Shem Tov, that you have the Aleph. The Aleph is already a sound that's trapped in a capsule. It's in a capsule, but then there's the Ha, that is without any Kalim. That is the Shofar. The Shofar is communicating without any, it's the only thing that can communicate without anything. And that touches the highest place. This is Eilish Shal Yitzchak. which Avraham and Yitzchak, they parked themselves in such a high place because the Akedah was hit on the spot. There was no hitter, it was aligned all the way to Lakudim, all the way up there. So none of these Chaver, Bill and Balak, they tried, they couldn't reach that. They couldn't reach that level. No matter where they tried to Fafir, it's like, we're already up here. Because we have such level of surrender. Avraham surrendered with his chesed, Yitzchak surrendered with his gevura. They had such level of surrender because, why? Because we're from such a high place. So the guy is like, hey, but it's not fair. It's not fair because you guys have an advantage. We're coming from Atmas and Mahutz. We're coming from such a high vibration. We don't stand a chance. And the answer is Taken. That's what it is. It's not a game. This is who we are. And this is where we want to get into with the Omer. Shvius, you want to get into the place where it's not fair and this is who you are. What's the pain? The pain is, like I said, you need to separate yourself from the pain. This is V'yitzi eschem mikira barzel. I'm going to peel you out, just like gold comes out of the earth, and they have to clean it and steam it and to separate the gold from the dirt. So too, we are the gold that needs to be separated from the garbage, from the sand, from the dirt. And this is why we went into Mitzrayim, which is your daily Mitzrayim that you're living in, that you're feeling it in every part of your body. Now, those who are still sleeping, still stuck in gullahs, are going out and trying to find their satisfaction, to going into keeping up faster, making more, doing more, buying more, and constantly. But that's good too. There has to be a chava. But if you want to find the real peace, what you're looking for is inside. To separate yourself, separate yourself from the pain, one by one. One second, no one done. Stay here. The Malachim, Chachmat Bina, Sar Shalmayim, Kenafayim, Eine Perudas, Gichig, Zekifa, okay. That's Salim Ra'ara, Machach Mashibadibir. Alright, next. This one that you guys don't have anymore, I think, but we're just going to say a few lines and we're going to wrap up. Seems the Schach of the Gam Chesed Makah Mach Michal, you don't have it. Gam Chesed Rak Shefesh Bein Nagil Vehelm Shemachal Chesed Dahav Gil Vayir Vehelm. In other words, Michal, Malach Michal and Gabriel, they both have Chasadim and they both have Gevuras. We both everything, but in one in Michal the Chasudim dominate, and the Gevuras are the Yir is behind, and by Gabriel it's the opposite. His Gevura is dominating, and the Chasadim are behind. So too, you have all these attributes. That's agility. That's Sameach, right? Sameach, being flexible. Rabbi Yehuda Mishim Rabbi Kiva, mein Mal mit Torah, Havie Omer Pesach. Favos hat der Torah gesagt, muss bringen Omer Pesach. Favos hat es jetzt, Menesha Pesach Zman Tvua. Pesach ist das Man auf Tvua. Zman Tvua. Omer Kodesh Baruch, Havie lefane Omer Pesach. The Eibus is up, Kitche Bricha, which is the Midas of Atzilus, says, Havie lefane Omer Pesach. Bring me the Omer from Pesach. Kodesh Baruch Lachem Tvua Shabbos others. If you're going to bring me, let's get it. This is how Rosh Hashanah is Melech Basada. Now we communicate through the Tvua. We communicate by bringing him my Karm Sa'orim. I'm bringing him my Behema. Sa'orim is Machal Behema. I'm bringing my Behema. My Chasadim, my Gevuras, Chesed Shebe Chesed. I'm makir, just by seeing it, I'm letting go and I'm making Hakrava to it. I'm recognizing it. And then you bring it to the Kohen, which I said before, L'chinas Chesed, Maktir al Gal HaMizbech, when Nichlelas Be'esh Shalamayim. They bring it to the Kohen, and he brings it to the fire. While the Elazu, Yichal HaChakach Lachzer Liyaz, Hamshachas HaShef HaMalachim HaKalech Vechel Fim Shira. The line, as you're taking it up, the Malachim can bring it back to you. So what that means is that every action has a reaction. So as you're seeing yourself, you're sending that up, and then you're getting back that Shefa. They clean it, and they bring it back, so to speak. Moving along. 5 more minutes. Hine calls in minchas ha'omer. She beginnen sa'oyer hey hamazgala b'Pesach. This sa'oyer hey is mazgala on Pesach, which means that, as you said before, the malachim, the angels are flying around over there. They're birds, they're flying all over. What separates them is the sa'oyer Hashem, which is the Eibishter's gevura, so to speak, which is his chachma, Chachma is flying in between them. That's what keeps everything aligned. Which means that you have the four attributes, the vier middes, fire, water, setitzich, and they don't clash because the hay, which is the gevuras, which is a sa'od, the fifth, the chachma, is floating around. It's in the presence, in between. It's almost like what you see, like diamond shapes, like it's floating around, sparking up, but there is seder, there is a system to it. Everything is beseder hadraga. Everything is aligned. The water comes in the fire, and then the air, and then everything is floating around one with it's aligned. That is the chachma of where the Eibishter reveals his hay, his malchus. What does it mean, his hay? Hay is malchus peh. Hay is malchus. Malchus is dvar melech shilton, which means that when the king speaks, you listen. Now the king spoke. He's like, I want a world and I want it to look like this. So his presence is felt, and that's what keeps this whole matrix aligned. All the way from the top billions of ideas, everything is aligned perfectly because the Melech has spoken. Pesach is where he reveals that hay to us. So when your middas are floating all over the place, and your gevuras and your chasadim and you're confused, hay has landed. Malchus is here once again, and that's the sa'odim, which is we are dealing with the behema, and he shows up as to the boss is here, the melech is here, and it's done with tremendous love. Throughout Pesach, there's a lot of love. There's Ava. Now, what happened is in the Beis Hamikdash there was two. In the Beis Hamikdash there was a lion, an arya that used to come down every time when they did a carbon. There was a fire that came down. It was the shape of a lion. It was covered. And the Mishkan was covered. The fire was covered, and not in the Mishkan, Beis Hamikdash. Bless you. It was the shape of a lion. That is because there was an angel, a shliach, that came down and he carried the message. But Moshe told the Eibishter, Ach Moshe lo yirotze she'yeh malach shliach. V'omer im ein panai chochem. Im ein panai chochem. What? Im ein panai chochem. V'chein k'siv b'mishkan v'tetz eish m'lifnei Hashem. V'lo ya'arish ha'yer b'mikdash. The Shlomo. But Moshe there was fire because he was dealing with Hashem, Eibishter himself. Whatever that means. There was no shliach. It was the zach alone. V'lechein the asid lovei. Listen to this. Shemashiach yeh gevoik m'Moshe. Mashiach is going to be higher than Moshe. Yeh ma'alasa atshei keboka yochel tev m'liyeh hu ha'shlich l'kal minchas oim adekoi. So I was giving him v'stapik man atevim shebesoyim z'soyim. And v'la'asid lovei k'soyim da'achshav v'asoyim yeh nechlom b'Yisrael atzmo, which means that everything is going to be elevated, which means that the straw yet is going to be in the level of Sa'odim, and Sa'odim, which is the Behema, is going to go up to a higher level, which means that it's going to be a part of us, which means that you're going to be experiencing your his galus, like you're going to see things in your physical Behema body, because our bodies are getting elevated, which is right now, which means that there is no shliach that is going to bring your savior. You are your savior. It's inside of you. Just go inside. It's right there. The fire is there. And that's why once we're finished with that, we're going into Chita, which is Shuas. Last piece. V'atis barach mitzvah sfiris Hashem esfat lechem machas. Ki oimes shehu oir Hashem mozen amalachim shemechinas alma desgal amoichem v'sigasim yisrael gam kan tzirach lo tzirach nashim abahamas. So we also need this for our nefesh abahamas. And we need to bring this omer. We bring the chalas and shuas. We eat challah chametz. That is for our nefesh alakis. That's why we are doing the sfiras omer, so we can bring first, before we go into shuas, we can bring down from this ha'arim and ha'anal that they gila b'tech they sfira lat slowly, one step at a time. Every day, a little bit. But the purpose of this is that also our animalistic soul should be able to give himself over by echad. Echad means that you're finding your inner peace. You just one, you just connected with it. Okay, yes, Nefesh Bahamas. We do the Shar Hanin Koil Kulam. We have to get to level 50, which is where you are in peace, you have no questions. There is Shuz. Ele Shamakar Shal Memtes Kmoshem Manam Schalkas, Lachena Sviris Memtes Yom, Mam Shemana Matchila, Akaponum, Kesedem At Maat, Lakenam, Yom Sheni, Yom Lo Yom Sheni. We say Ayom Shnei Yom, Nish Yom Sheni. When we say the count of the Svira, we say Ayom Shnei Yom, it's the second, it's 2 days, not the second day, because it's one long day. We're basically evaporating the illusion of the separation and bringing it into one. Bringing it into Shamnian. Letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. And this is where you're in Kesser. Okay? Okay? That's it. So, everybody here is looking for something. Everybody here is understanding something deeper, feels a higher purpose in asking a question. What am I doing here? What's my purpose here? Why am I in pain? How can I rid myself of the pain? How can I get better? How can I change? That is the Sfiras Omer. That is the Omer. And this is how you count the Omer. By simply honoring yourself that you are, by doing that, you are detaching, you're disengaging from the pull, from this entrapment that you're being triggered, as we said before. If I sit by myself, after a few days, I'm in peace. But I need to detach myself. This is the idea of Sfiras Omer. And this is recognizing what you're doing, by recognizing that you are searching, looking, letting go. That is how you count the Omer. This is how you get to level 50, which is Shvuas. Matan Torah and translucent luchas, seeing it panim b'panim, no backhand, which means that you have no questions. You're not living in the Achanayim, you're not living from the secondary, you're living from the panim b'panim. Okay?